so he could play a violin. Beneath his whisker chin, he tucked his violin, and when you least expected, Fiddler Joseph would begin on his fiddly-dee. He played this melody as plain could be. Now he might have played this tune on a harp or a bassoon, but he played it on his fiddly-dee. Joseph met a girl last spring who said, come up and bring a ring. Joseph had no ring to bring, so he brought his violin. A cunning B-flat grin hung from his whisker chin, and then the maiden shouted, Mr. Fiddler, man, begin. On his fiddly-dee, he played this melody as plain as Fiddler Joe from Kokomo took lessons on a piccolo. But after 7 years or so, he could play a violin. Beneath his whisker chin, he tucked his violin. And when you least expected, Fiddler Joseph would begin on his fiddly-dee. He played this melody as plain could be. Now he might have played this tune on a harp or a bassoon, but he played it on his fiddly-dee. Joseph met a girl last spring who said, come up and bring a ring. Joseph had no ring to bring, so he brought his violin. A cunning
Wow.
grin